Hey guys, I'm back, and today we're going to do a different kind of review. We're going to be doing a long-term of use review on the Corsair H100i version 1 and why I think you shouldn't buy them. Okay, so let's jump right into this. I bought this unit approximately 2 years ago. It went through about a solid year of use. I had a hard drive failure that knocked out my computer for approximately about 2 months. Put the computer back together. When I started up, I noticed one of the included fans had died. And at that point, no big deal, fans die all the time. I went out, I used the opportunity to basically buy the Corsair SP120, the illuminated red ones. Got all excited when they got here. Laid my case over on its side. Plugged in the fans, flipped it back up, put it back together, turned it on, and it overheated within 6 minutes. Okay, maybe I messed up. Maybe I didn't plug something in all the way. So I went in, unplugged everything, plugged everything back in, made sure everything was good, turned the system back on, overheated again. And it kept doing that, and each time it would get shorter and shorter and shorter. So my second thought was, well, maybe the pump died. So I would turn the system on, put my fingers to the back of the pump, could feel the vibration. It's moving water. I did notice, though, that one of the hoses was extremely hot. Now, as far as the inlet and outlet, there's really not a way to tell on these. Maybe one of you guys knows, but I couldn't tell. So I got to thinking about why that could have failed. Now, for those of you that don't know, Corsair does not make this product. It is a rebrand. Asetek makes this product. And one of the things the water coolers will tell you is that having an aluminum radiator like this particular product does is a bad idea because it's mixing with copper. Over long periods of time you get corrosion, and it can corrode up blocks, it can foul things, it can actually clog up pumps if it gets bad enough, although that takes quite a bit. And one of the things that's interesting about these is that everybody recommends them, even though they have aluminum in them, but we don't see any long-term reviews. We don't see what happens to these things. So today I thought we would cut one apart and take a look. Alright guys, I just stopped the camera to make sure it does not stop while filming this. So let's do the big part. It's difficult for me because I only get one shot at this, so bear with me if this part isn't perfect. First of all, let's show this is one piece. This has not been messed with in any way, shape, or form. Yes, it has dents in it right here. That's because it sits like this in my closet. It's been sitting in my closet for probably about 5 or 6 months. So we're going to cut it apart. We're going to take a look and see what we find. So I'm going to try to do this in one shot. And this is the stressful part for me, guys. So I only get one chance at this. So here we go. I'm going to get a shot glass close to me so that hopefully I can capture a bit of fluid in the glass too. And we can take a look at that. I will give Corsair this, or Asetek I guess I should say, since they make it. The hoses on these are very, very thick. I can't even... Sorry for the noise, headphone users. Man, those are strong. Gotta give them that. Credits over there. Okay, so we can see that there is green fluid. I'm already seeing junk come out of it. Not an excessive amount, but wow. So there's something interesting. This is all the fluid I'm getting out of this system. Can you guys even see any fluid? And what's very interesting, I am seeing contaminants, but I was a mechanic for 5 years. I worked at a local dealership. I got my degree, my associate's degree in automotive technology, and that smells like just car coolant. I'm not kidding. That's what that smells like. That smells like just antifreeze, which would be very interesting, to say the least, if that is what's in here. Let's try to cut the other one off. I'm just terrified my camera's going to stop recording. So, man, I'll give him this. Thick hoses. I will give him that. Okay, now that side dumped out a lot. So that flowed a bit better. That's it. Okay, there's some. Now it's finally coming out. That cannot be all the coolant that is in here. I'm going to set this down. That can't be it. There's... Really? That's it? That's all? Look at that. That's all there is. That's all there is, guys. There's... Okay, this isn't going to be the most graceful transition, but I want to do this without cutting the shot, so some people can't say that I mess with this. Give me 1 second here, guys. Oop. Sorry, guys. Let's take a look at what we got here. Let me get the camera focused. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Okay, so let's adjust this. Okay, so these black bits that we're seeing are from the hose being cut. That is, I can tell you that I watched them fall in there. That is from the hoses being cut, okay? If you can make out, we have little white specks in there. Let me see. Oop, got some. Nope. Did I? Nope. There's like grit in here. Okay, let's see if we can get a little bit more. I'm trying to do this quick, guys, so I don't lose the camera. So I don't want to do it in 2 shots. So I don't want people saying I had a chance to mess with stuff. The white flakes are all at the bottom. Okay. Let's see if we can... Gonna try to hold this and focus it. I have to use autofocus for this part, excuse me. Okay, so you see that? I don't know how well that's transferring to camera, but you can see all the white crap in there that's kind of sticking towards the back end. This is the back of the glass right here. And that smells like antifreeze. That really does. So that is, I'm not saying they dumped car coolant in there, but what I am saying is I worked as a professional mechanic after I got my degree for 5 years, and I spent 4 other years of my life in shops, and so I've spent a lot of coolant, and I cannot tell the difference in smell. Sorry guys, I'm having to rely on autofocus here and it's not doing it great. Let's do the manual focus here. So, like I said, the black stuff, okay, the black stuff is from the hosing. That is from me cutting it. Okay, I just have to do it manually. I'm sorry, it makes the camera shake. Okay, but can you see the white stuff in there? Can't see the best view of the screen right now, but that is in there too. So let's cut this off and let's come back and we'll have a little chat. Okay guys, so we're back. I'm sorry for any noise or anything that got picked up. I have the microphone mounted right here, so I probably picked up some table movement. I'm sorry for that. But what I thought we'd do really quick as a final thing is I have a 2-cup cooking glass. I don't bake. This is my wife's, so I don't know what else you call it. But I thought we'd see how much fluid we got. So I've already dumped out the shot glass back in here. Oh man, you can see all this white stuff. I'm probably not picking up the camera now, but it's all along here. Put that down. And just to make sure, here, I'll even do this to make sure we got it all out. You can tell it's clogged, by the way. I'll try to do this right next to the mic here. You can hear it rattle up here. You can hear stuff moving around. So, grand total, we got, let's see if you guys can see that. Put down a level surface, and that'll show more towards the camera. I got right in between 1,100 and 1,200 milliliters. That's all the fluid that was in that. And I don't care what anybody says. That smells like car coolant. I don't care. I've smelt that so many times. It even feels like it when it gets on my hands. You know that weird sensation you get, that odd feel that coolant has to it when you get on a car. It even feels like it. It smells like it. And I'm sorry, it looks like it, smells like it, feels like it. What else could it be? But one, so I think we're seeing a few different things here. One, we can definitely see some evaporation. Actually, not as much as I originally thought, because when you stop to look at the radiator and you see how thin the fins are, how thin the intakes are, but then again, once you factor in like the size of the hose, it's a very low volume system, but at the same time, I don't believe that this is nearly full. I simply don't believe that this is how much fluid it holds. The other thing is too, one, it obviously failed. I mean, it failed on me. There's no questioning that. And what I think we have here is, I am wondering if a lot of these fins, and this was not dented up. Nothing ever dented this until I took it out of the system. I'm kind of wondering if when I blow in it, I can hear and feel a lot of restriction through it. I'm thinking that this is very thoroughly clogged. And as you guys saw, I didn't mess with anything. I can still pull on all of these and they're solid. I didn't mess with anything or anything like that. So let's talk about one of the things that is a selling point to these, which is where people often tell you they're great because they're maintenance free. Looking at this now after that period of use, would you say that being unable to maintain it because you cannot open this system without cutting into it, without ruining it, and refilling it could be done with a T-valve? It's kind of like old school water cooling. It's very difficult, not super efficient, and I don't recommend it. But this was $140. I think it was actually a bit more when I bought it because I bought it a while ago. So looking at this was $140 that once it failed, it was done. There was no coming back from it. Now they do offer a warranty on them, but if it fails outside that warranty, you just have to go and buy either like a V2, which I think those go for about 110 or 140. If you want another V1 with the light up front part. So if you are looking at doing water cooling, if you have air cooling now, you have some type of aftermarket cooling, or even if you have stock, and you're really thinking about grabbing an all-in-one unit, what I would implore you to do would be to learn about custom loops, see if that is something that interests you. If not, look at alternative, basically high-performance air coolers. And air coolers, guys, are great. I'll tell you flat out, a high-end air cooler will, compared to like the versions of these, like the H60 and the H60, the H60 and the H80, sorry, that only have a single 120 or 140 millimeter, even like the super thick radiators. A high-end air cooler will flat out give you the same thermals as one of those. I mean, that you can, I believe Linus Tech Tips even does a video on that, but you can go ahead and watch that, and there's really not a huge point to these. I mean, to those, sorry. To this one, what I will say is that if you're looking at spending $140, you can get all-in-one loops for custom and do soft tubing for roughly around somewhere between $200 if you get like a Bay Res from XSPC, or you can go up to the more expensive ones, which go up to like $300. But the cool thing about those is you can expand them, you can add on to them, and if one part of those fail, like if you had a pump die on one of those, you could go buy a new pump, as long as you're not doing like a D5 or something, for anywhere between $40 to $60. And the Vinphobia makes some really good non-D5 pumps. If you had a radiator clog, okay, I just purchased a whole bunch of new stuff because I'm doing a new system, and you can get a 240 from EK for roughly somewhere between $60 to $80, depending on what options you choose. XSPC has them too. They're cheap. Bits Power makes good stuff. There's a lot of good companies out there with custom water cooling. So if you're really looking at these and you're saying, hey, I want to get one of these systems because there's no maintenance required, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm going to trust somebody else. Well, the simple fact is you are putting all your faith in somebody else. You are believing what they say about what coolant they put in there, that if it doesn't clog, did they put enough fluid in there? Yes, they have a warranty, but even if you were to fill this system to 90% with not very great fluid, if it's completely sealed and it doesn't have air to contaminate it faster, it could very easily last, like it did with mine, for a year to 2 years before it finally dies. And then you go out of warranty period and you're still out all your money. So I think, to be honest, going forward, my recommendation on these is to avoid them. Corsair makes some fantastic products. They do not actually make this. But I think bang for buck, these are one of those things that you buy once if you don't have a problem re-spending that money on every time you build a system. Because after seeing what I've seen here, if somebody was building a second system and parts robbing from the first one, I would tell them to flat out take their H100i and chuck it in the trash and get something different rather than reuse it, because it's not going to work for that long, obviously. So I know this is probably going to get a lot of flack. I know that There's a lot of people that love these and they love throwing them in their like build of the month or the show off a new product. But you guys are not seeing them being used after a year, 2 years, 3 years that often. And you're going out and buying these with the simple fact of you're normal people. You're not a YouTube reviewer like some other people that have money where if something fails, oh, no big deal, I can chuck it. Who cares? It lasted for the build of the month. So, yeah, guys, sorry to be so long-winded, but there's definitely a lot of thought to this. So, if you like the video, please like it. Go ahead and subscribe. Check out my other video. I do have a coupon for my op seat. Other than that, have a good one, guys. Thank you.